Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently November 17th, 2010. This is day 9, day number 219, and it's Friendday Wednesday. We have a little special ZERG guest on today, the little one. We'll be coming back to him in a second. Of course, he's still muted on Skype, so he hasn't even made an appearance yet, but he will be on very soon after this short set of announcements. First, I have to give a very special shout out to the wonderful women of the gaming community. Everyone loves Gamer Girl, so I have to extend a special heart. That's for you. That's for you. And I fully expect that if you were a man who was listening to this cast, that you dodged out of the way of that blown kissing. Whoa! Get out of the way, because that's meant for the lovely gamer ladies. I was being jokingly callous a few dailies ago, but apparently, if any offense was caused, I accept full responsibility for that. So my sincerest, dearest endearments go out to the lovely ladies of the gaming community. And of course, in other exciting news, I will be in DreamHack. Oh, my finger went right through the overlay. DreamHack, that's right, right there. Coming up on Monday, actually. I get on an airplane and head off to Sweden. Apparently this is a rubber band powered airplane where they just fly me off there. And then I will be doing the coverage for the DreamHack event that has more and more huge, insanely good names. I'm getting called. I'm going to mute that. There we go. There's more and more good names, and I'm sure there's going to be more announcements about that coming up soon. I don't know what I'm supposed to know or not, but of course, I just want to give you that little hint in there so that way you guys can go, oh. And every single tournament game action will be getting streamed through day9.tv. That's right. Mine streaming! Which is I'm pretty sure it's German for my stream, something like that. But yeah, Dario can tell us in a moment. He's still muted on Skype. He can't judge me. But yeah, all of them will be saved and archived, and there'll be all sorts of good junk with that. So Funday Monday, actually no shows will be happening next week except for the Sunday show. So for Funday Monday, 2 weeks from now, you must attack every 5 minutes. You must bring all your units and attack. You're allowed to retreat as long as you've made a commitment. It's kind of a loose rule. Work with it, Just attack every 5 minutes, send that to Monday at day9.tv. For Newbie Tuesday, after DreamHack, the Newbie Tuesday will be the following. Very specific. I want you, Terran players, to send me a replay of a Protoss early expanding, and you try to break it early on, but it doesn't quite work. That's what I'm looking for, that very specific scenario, because many Terrans have been struggling with that. We'll check it out. And super extra special thing happening directly after this daily is the first ever Wednesday Night Fights, hosted by this guy, Wednesday Night Fights. Going to be right on this stream. We're going to have 4 players duking it out for a chance to win 100 of my dollars. Oh, it's so awesome. So the 4 players will be QXC, Ranged, Zelnik, and Kawhi Rice. Yeah, it's going to be some live, fun shoutcasting action. 2 best of 1s, followed by 1 best of 3. So going to be nice, short, compact, just a nice little juice midway through your week. And without any further ado, the one man who is not allowed to duck out of the way when I blow him a kiss, Dario Wunsch! Say hello, Dario.
Good evening, Sean. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm jazzy. Now, did I say your name correctly?
Almost. Better than most Americans.
Thank you. That's what I go for. How do you say your native name, Mr. Dario?
Dario Wunsch.
Dario Wunsch. Oh, that's so
Wunsch.
Cool. I know I botched the last... Shh, don't correct me. I did it right.
You did?
Oh, thank you. So, of course, I want to give you a little bit of an opportunity to just say hello to everyone and tell us the exciting developments in the life of Dario. Starcraft related, of course.
Yeah. Well, most people probably already know that I'm back here in Europe.
Yes.
That's why it's 4 a.m. over here.
Nice.
And
I appreciate it.
yeah. Well, for you, I would always do it.
Thank you. Perfect.
I would even be online like 4 days in a row, 4 a.m.
My God.
Anyways,
I heart you. I actually have a heart drawn on my hand. It's in blue because I don't own any red pens. They're all black, and I have one blue, so at least this heart has a little bit of color for you. But I understand you're going to be competing at DreamHack.
Indeed. I'm going to Sweden pretty soon, and
Yeah, man.
DreamHack is going to be awesome. I'm going to team up again with Tyler and Huck. They're both going to go there.
Sick.
And it should be a great tournament for Liquid again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hope it's going to be as good as Dallas for us.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
kind of outrageous how highly everyone placed. Not that it wasn't justified. You guys are Gosu times 2.
Yeah. Especially Chinro. He really deserved to finally get
he's super
big
awesome.
success.
Yeah, General fighting, but unfortunately qualified for the GSL, so he has to play in that, which is garbage. He should come out again. But either way, you have recently switched to ZERG. I'm wearing my ZERG t-shirt, so of course everyone is staring at my chest. Coincidentally, my fingers just happened to be nearby my nipple, so I went ahead and took advantage of that a little bit, but still, ZERG action is going to be the focus of today. So you recently switched to ZERG, and you have a ZVT in store for us today.
Yeah, I've got a CVT, also
Yes.
some CVP if you want to watch it.
We will see if we have time. We will see indeed,
Yep.
because you know me, I like to get into excruciating detail in these games. So I'm actually going to head on over to the game, and I'm going to ask you, are you ready to roll, Dario?
I'm always ready.
Oh, baby, baby. All right, we are starting in 3, 2, 1, play. So it looks like I, of course, have to do things like, is my audio enabled? Interestingly enough, it was, which is very unusual for me. So that's great news.
Wait a second, I have to interrupt you. Are you on fast or normal?
I'm on fast.
Okay, good.
Or I'm on not normal, like what the regular game speed is. I'm not on super
Yeah, okay.
slow mode. So I just hit 30 seconds. So looks like we're synced. We got you spawning in the top left as the ZERG pieces in blue. In the bottom right, you have Maru as the red Terran pieces. So immediately, I want to ask: is this a practice game or was this a ladder game?
It's a ladder game. And the first thing we should note about the map is because there might be some people who actually don't know it. You can't spawn on close positions here because it was
Yeah.
originally two-player map.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, it might just be a bug by Blizzard, but it's a fact.
Yeah, I actually love the fact that it's like that, because, really, it's a little bit rough to always have, like, it's either extreme cross-map positions or he's right fucking next door. I hate maps like that. For any of you who played Gaia in Brood War, that drove me insane. So it looks like you did a cross-map scout right at the start. So I want to ask about that first, but then I want to come back to your regular game plan. So why exactly did you do, like, the diagonal map scout?
I don't even know anymore. I probably just felt like...
Well, I guess it's that
mean,
you have this overlord that's heading to the right position. So I guess you are kind of doing the divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's kind of smart, but... Sometimes you can also just confuse your opponent by doing that. But yeah, it's probably because of that. I sometimes do it, sometimes I don't.
That's kind of an interesting idea. And it looks like you are throwing down your expansion. Now, it looks like you planted that before 14. It looks like you did it on 13 or 12 even.
I think it was 13. I'm not sure.
So, and what is your general game plan to do on this map, now that you've, found out where he was and you see him doing the most ordinary thing in the world?
Well, he's crossbar, so I've got plenty of time. I can just drone up, like, a lot, usually, but because he's crossbar and he's gonna expect that, I'm gonna do a little bit different things. You're gonna see a little later.
Okay. Well, I see you stealing his gas right now. Now, I'm actually going to pause right now. I'm at 3 minutes and 17 seconds, so hopefully you are remotely close to that. Now, tell me a little bit about that, because I know there's some Zergs who are really adamant about stealing gases. Some Zergs don't like it. Some Zergs sort of just wing it. What are your thoughts on the gas steal?
I think you should always do it. The thing is, you're not only stealing gas, but you're getting a ton of information. For example, if my gas is going to be attacked by a Marine, I know the Marine is in his base and not going to attack me.
Yeah.
Especially in Korea, there's a lot of early game pressure with Marines. Many people do, like, true barracks builds. And I'm always relieved if I see a Marine attacking my gas, because I know I can build drones and don't have to build zerglings. And also it's nice to deny the second gas, of course.
So, I want to come back to that Marine thing that you just said a little bit about. So, I mean, there's the obvious trigger of, oh, I see a Marine, I know he's not attacking, time to drone. But how long of a time do you wait such that if there's no Marine attacking, that you really start to get concerned? Because I'm pretty sure you could probably squeeze out a few drones. Do you, like, send Zerglings to the front and the thing at the back? Like, how long do you wait after you've taken the gas before you really start to go, oh shit, probably going to be an attack coming? Or is it kind of a feel thing?
I mean, the map is kind of big, so here I have plenty of time. So I would probably wait until I cancel the extractor, like almost cancel the extractor, like almost one full build time until I start being really concerned. If I don't see any Marine attacking my gas, I might actually just not build a second extractor, but take the drone and scout around again in his base to see if there's something fishy going on.
All right, I like that answer. And I'm going to be resuming in 3, 2, 1, play. And when you steal his gas, in terms of build orders, what build orders are you immediately not worried about in your mind?
Cloaked Banshee, because you can't support it from one gas. Also, like on Mad Flag Lost Temple, he's not gonna be able to do like fast drop builds. But anything else, Terran usually doesn't really get a second gas really fast.
Well, still, those are some pretty significant builds, as, you know, any ZERG who plays Temple will be, like, really happy that he doesn't have to deal with it. Or probably any player in the universe would give his left testicle to be able to not deal with Cloaked Banshees. Seriously, I hate Banshees.
Yeah.
And I see you not laughing, just reverently agreeing, just, yes, absolutely. I would totally sack my manliness in a heartbeat just to be able to not deal with Cloaked Banshees. Now, it looks like you've done a pretty late gas. It looks like on 23 is your first gas geyser, but you're double gassing all of a sudden. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because that's funky.
Sometimes I have to think a little bit, because the game is like 2 or 3 weeks old.
Alright, so I will pause right now. I'm at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Do you need to stroke your chin to muse and go,
Yeah, I'm doing that already.
Nice.
The thing is, I'm gonna put some really strong early game pressure on him. The SCV, I think I have to go back a little. I think I put down the extractors when the SCV leaves my base, right?
Oh, like, really? You know, I'm actually going to hit my B button some. I'm at 440, and I'm backing up to 430, and now I'm just hitting 420. Yeah, you know, it looks like...
Oh, no, he's seeing it. That's stupid.
Looks like you're building it... You're waiting for the exact moment when he is in your gas line, and then you build it. So,
yeah,
it's actually the opposite of the desired effect. Huh.
I feel pretty stupid now. Anyways, I want to put some early game pressure on him, and you need gas to do that, because with only Zerglings you're not gonna do anything. You're gonna need speed upgrade, you're gonna need roaches, and I also want to get banelings.
Awesome, yeah. Well, I'm at 420. Are you at that approximate time?
Yeah, no I am.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, playing it. But I think the double gas is kind of interesting, because I think that's something that, like, is super underused. Most people just sort of get a gas, and then when they have 100, then they get another gas, or they feel like they have to get one and wait. I think the double gassing is definitely kind of a clever trick to get a lot of minerals out, and then still get your layer out at the same time.
While talking about that, we also missed another thing. My drone, I did what I told you. I bought my gas, because only one marine was attacking my gas. So usually Terrans get more marines than one.
Yeah.
And I was thinking there might be something else going on, which was the case, because he was getting a Reaper, and I think I saw his fast spawn too.
Alright, awesome. So it does look like you are repelling this little attack. I don't see any Zerglings being made. Looks like you're relying purely on Queens and Creep to be able to deal with that. Looks like he's getting 4 barracks right now, but I'm going to ignore that and just sort of stick in the Dario camp. And I've seen you before get a lot of Queens for early defense, but in this case you're getting the Roach Warren. And especially a lot of Zergs often get the Zergling speed, but we see that there's no speed being researched here. Can you talk a little bit about that decision?
Well, it's mostly the Roaches I wanted to get, because he's going fast Reaper, and well, it's kinda easier to repel Reapers if he would like to get like 2 or 3, which some people still do in Korea. So it's nice to have Roaches, but also because I know he's gonna fast expand, and getting a lot of Zerglings is not gonna help too much breaking his wall and putting pressure on him. So I'm deciding to get Roaches, and then later on Zerglings.
Alright, awesome. And no layer, it looks like, yet, but you still have both guys in gas. When you're getting a Baneling nest. So is this double gas going to be dumped into the Banelings?
Yeah, definitely. It would be kind of wasteful if you wouldn't. So that's why I'm building my Zerglings now and getting speed upgrades, so it's kind of synced with the Banelings.
So I actually want to pause it right now at 7 minutes and 20 seconds, because I really liked what you said, but it was so brief I wanted to emphasize it more. That you said, because I asked, is your gas going to get dumped into the Banelings? And you said yes, because if I didn't, it would be a waste. And I think that's like a pretty significant thing to touch on, because a lot of times people will get 2 geysers because They just kind of want two geysers. You know, they'll say to themselves, okay, I kind of want to get some tech really fast and get this really fast. And then they use the gas to do that. But then there's no next part of that plan, and they just stockpile 800 gas kind of in the mid-game. Because, I mean, I can clearly see that you were able to use your double gas to get extra roaches and the league speed out quite quickly, which I think is great. But the fact that you're leaving it in there would be a mistake if you weren't going for the banelings, and a lot of people, I think, do that. Get the double gas for an early purpose and then not spend it later. So you're totally awesome, Dario. I'll have you know.
But I probably got a little bit too much gas, to be honest. Really, it's the first time I played. Maybe I should have. But I take off drones of my gas if you see it.
Nice.
Because I noticed that my gas count was a little bit too high. I usually don't play that build order, so it was kind of like it was a little bit sketchy.
All right, cool. Well, I'm at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. You ready to resume?
Indeed, I am. Let's
3,
go.
2, 1, play. Gotta focus, man.
Oh fuck! I fucked it up.
Uh-oh. I'm paused at 7:28. Are you ready? Are you with me? You okay? Is everything cool? I'm paused.
Give me 1 second.
All right, it's fine. We'll wait. We're waiting, Dario. What time are you at, man?
Yeah,
Where are you?
I'm bad with technology sometimes.
Man, you were telling me earlier that in the Korean version, if you try to rewind the replay, it just crashes.
Yeah, it does.
Oh man, that's exactly why
really
the Koreans are far behind
you.
the rest of the world in terms of skill, right?
Yeah, you always have to time it right. You can't watch a replay twice even. No, I'm making stuff up.
Oh man, that would be terrible. All right, I'm at 7:28. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
3, 2, 1, playing it. So now you have your roaches kind of poking up. Do you have any fear about concussive shell losing you 3 roaches?
No, not really, because for some reason people don't get it early anymore, which is probably stupid.
Huh.
Interesting. I kind of forgot about Marauders having it in an early game even.
Huh,
Good
wow.
point.
Well, play Protoss, man. It's they'll hate it. Yeah, and I hear there's the guys being taken off gas. Still don't see any layer from you yet. And actually, I kind of want to pause now at 8 minutes and 13 seconds. You have your banglings getting morphed. You have these Marauders and Marines sort of pushing out, and you're pretty much geared to do this push. So the 2 questions I immediately have, the first one is if you could talk a little bit about your layer timing, because I feel like whenever I play Zerg, and even a lot of the Zergs I watch, that layer is a very, very key structure because of the fact that Mutalisks and all the speed upgrades need it, and also Overseers and all that good jazz. So actually, I'll just begin with that question first. What exactly is your goal for the layer timing? Especially given this push you're doing.
Well, in that game it's pretty late because I'm not gonna get lair before I do any damage. So I wanna commit to that, and I need to kill SCVs. If I don't kill SCVs, I'm screwed basically, because my drone count is really low. I have 1 drone less than Terran, which doesn't sound too bad, but because Terran obviously has mules, which are pretty imbalanced. Now that I'm a Zerg, I can complain about it.
We say that on the show, don't we? Pow!
Yeah, we don't give a shit. Yeah, you always need to have... We always need to have.
For the record,
drones.
mules are not imbalanced. I just want to throw that out there to the viewers who did not pick up on that. I just wanted to make sure that that's clear. They're fine. But I do like the point you're making that if you, as Zerg, invest in a lot of units early, you have to do damage or else you're screwed. So, yeah. So you're pretty much just kind of going on this attack. And this kind of links into my second question, which is, what is your follow-up plan to this attack? Because I know how easy it is to kind of just go into the mode of, well, I think he's almost dead. I guess I'll just only make units for the rest of the game and hope I can almost kill him.
Yeah, I never do that. Especially against Terran. It's amazing. You can kill so much stuff, and then Terran just comes back.
Yeah.
It's like, that was the second choice almost of a replay I wanted to give to you. On Metalopolis, I was constantly attacking Terran, and I was constantly attacking destroying SCVs and stuff, but because I was committing so many forces, 3 minutes later I just died to Marine Marauder Medivac, because with low-tech unit you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, I even see that you don't really have many drones here at the expo. It looks like 5, and in the main it looks like you have about 18 guys mining. So I'm curious, what is the follow-up plan to this? Like, as you attack, are you intending to make drones, or are you just going to kind of wing it based on how the attack goes?
Yeah, I'm gonna base it on how the attack goes because I'll, if it goes very well, I'm just gonna drone, like, if I kill all his military units, I can drone up, right? But if I kill his SCVs, but a lot of his military units survive, I still have to continue making units because then he has a potential to push. So it kind of is based on what damage I do.
Okay, cool. Well, I want to see exactly how that ends up playing out, because decision-making after big attacks at the start, I think, is like one of the hardest things to know stuff about. That's why we brought you on, Dario. I'm at 8:13. I'm resuming in 3, 2, 1, play. So it looks like you're gearing up. You're trying to keep all those units alive. And we see the Marauders beginning to pull back. Oh, there go the Banelings. Looks like he's... oh, I kind of like that. That's a cute play. And it looks like you're attacking the supply depot, and you do manage to knock it down, and this attack doesn't look like it's going as well. I'm actually going to pause now at 8 minutes and 41 seconds, so that to me didn't feel that great. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. Well, to be honest, it's probably a really bad idea to do that strategy on that map, because it's just so far. And
also
if it
because
would
it's
be
the wall off that he had made?
Yeah, I was maybe I don't know. I could have attacked a little earlier, maybe. No, probably not. Let's just state that it was probably a bad attack, and if I see the wall off, I should probably just back off.
Okay,
if you see,
cool.
he still has only 9 SCVs at his expansion. I only have 5, but because I have double hatchery, and maybe if I put a few more drones to minerals instead to gas, I can still catch up with his economy, so I should just see the wall and probably go back.
Yeah. Alright, cool. So I'm going to be resuming in 3, 2, 1, play. And it looks like on the retreat, your Roach, guys, looks like one Zergling gets picked off, and he's going to be mounting the counter push. And I see only Zerglings being made. And that's sort of an interesting choice to me, because, like, I mean, you do see kind of a predominance of Marauders, but Roaches are probably a little easier on the larva. You can get Roaches and drones. So were you mainly getting the Zerglings so that way you could chase units back down?
I was seeing that he's moving out of the map, and I knew I'm behind in the game already, right? So my only option to come back into the game is to actually kill his push. If I have Roaches, I can't do that because he's just gonna retreat, and Roaches are pretty slow without speed upgrade.
That is a very, very good point. I mean, being able to chase the army down, because I mean, I personally don't do as many of these early attacks. I do a lot more just defending and biding my time. So as a result, I always tend to gear more towards the thing that allows more drones. But clearly, now that you've killed off that attack, I mean, you put Terran in a very awkward position. And now you can use your speed links to, cut things off. Baneling's doing a good chunk of damage. So now it looks like the follow-up attack is doing a lot of good. And actually, if I even go to the resource station, you're up about 13 food, doing plenty of damage. Now, in a situation like this, I'm actually going to pause right now, because I think this is the period in time when the adrenaline tends to kick in, and people tend to go, holy shit, I can win, oh my god, I can win. So my two questions are in order. One, what are you going for in the base when you have like a lot of Zerglings and Banelings? And two, what are your goals with this attack? Is it to just make more units, or is it to drone up? So, go.
Okay. As you can see, the second I see my attack is going well, I'm putting down an evolution chamber, which is late game plan, basically, because obviously you're not gonna finish a game with an evolution chamber, are you? So it's like, I know I'm gonna do damage. That is the second I stop purchasing Zerglings or Roaches, because I don't need it anymore.
That is very interesting, and I think that's such a big point to note, is that the instant this attack is going well, you're saying, great, now I'm in perfect position to win in 10 minutes. Because it's so easy to get that feeling of, oh my god, I'm gonna win! And you just like 5SZ, because all your adrenaline is putting your brain on the battle. And then all of a sudden, if you do that and it suddenly doesn't work, you can die. So Dario, you're
Yeah.
the man. You're the man, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and resume in 3, 2, 1, play. And it looks like you're killing off SCVs. Clearly that looks like it's your goal. That sort of coincides with your notion of winning in the late game. You almost kill every SCV he owns with that one Baneling. And you got more nibblers at the front. So it looks like you're in great shape. But I see you making yet more Zerglings. So I was talking so much about the droning. And like, oh, it's so important to get the droning. So you're getting upgrades and some drones, but you still want to make Zerglings and keep up the pressure?
Yeah, well, I told you, I don't remember the game so well, so I should probably just shut up. I really don't like the
I still want to say, like, if you don't like the decision you made, I would love to hear why.
Yeah, well, because obviously, okay, he has 4 barracks, 2 with reactor, which means he can build an incredible amount of units. He even has combat shield ready for Marines. Circlings without any kind of support or upgrades are just not cost efficient against that kind of army anymore. So
yeah,
as you can see, so the last few Circlings I sent in just did no damage at all. And like half of the Circlings could be drones.
Yeah, totally. Definitely. Yeah, I mean that's something. It's like one of those decisions that at the time it made so much sense, but in hindsight it's like, oh damn it, oh crap. And it looks like you're getting a layer right now, very late layer. So I mean, even with everything that's happened in the game, I think you're pretty clearly at a little bit of a better position than he is. So talk to us a little bit about what your goals are right now. It looks like you're droning up, you're getting gas at your expo, you're putting guys back in gas at your main, you're getting a layer. What's going through the mind of Liquid the Little One?
Well, I'm pretty happy because I have creep outside of my map, outside on the map, and Terran is not gonna move out too soon. So I still have like 1 minute to spread creep a little bit more, which is extremely comfortable. First of all, I have like vision on the map, and Zerglings on creep basically counter every single ground force in the beginning of the game if you have enough Zerglings to deal with it. Like if you have actually the equal amount of money in Zerglings or a little more, you can just deny every kind of attack, and Terran can't even retreat anymore.
Yeah.
And obviously I want to get new options. I'm putting down a Spire. In position. I was hoping he's not scanning, but now he scans, and if I remember correctly, I'm gonna abort the Spire like after the scan depletes.
Wow, that's bold. Yeah, wow, you cancel it. Wow. All right, I'm pausing. I'm paused at 1441. So I am really curious. Why the cancel? Because here's the things that I foresee as the issue with that. I think that it's so tempting for a lot of newer players to get over-obsessed with the fancy plays, get obsessed with the idea of, I'm going to trick them. I'm going to trick them into think I'm doing this, when instead I'm doing that. And the problem is, Terran's just going to make Marine Marauder no matter what, so if you do that, then he's still going to be making Marine Marauder. So you didn't actually trick him as much as you thought. I think that's one of those fundamental mistakes that the new players do make, is that they obsess about trickery and stuff like that. However, I feel like at the very, very high levels, which of course would include you, my dear friend Dario, that sort of stuff can be very beneficial. So I really want to hear a lot about what your plan was with this cancel and why it ended up being okay. Because I'm not going to lie, even if they see Mutalisks coming, Mutalisks are still really hard to deal with.
Yeah, okay, thing is, first of all, I'm not very good with Mutalisks, I have to admit.
Okay. No, I think that's actually like a good point, because like I think too often people are like, no, I have to do it because Fruit Dealer did it. It's, no, you do what you're comfortable with.
So, if I want to use Mutas, I at least want to have like a little bit of an advantage of my opponent not seeing it.
Yeah.
And also, as you can see, he's putting down an engineering base the second he scanned it, which means he wants to get turrets probably. The map is pretty huge, so he knows he can't move out his units without getting turrets to actually defend his SCVs, because the second he moves out on the map, he's gonna lose all his SCVs, right?
Wow, that's actually a really good point, yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, no, go ahead if you have more stuff, but wow. Actually, don't go ahead. That's actually an amazing point, yeah. Because, I mean, that makes so much more sense, because on a map like Steps of War, or even really close ground positions on Lost Temple, you don't feel nearly as obligated to make that many turrets, because you can just pull back. And a lot of times, Zerg doesn't even have time to respond. The instant Terran decides to move out, Terran is suddenly 3 feet away from Zerg. So, I mean, that's so brilliant. Go on.
I've got more wisdom to share.
Come on. Bring it up.
Yeah. Well, as you said, sometimes people are just gonna stick with Marine Marauder, and he's gonna do it too because he's got 4 barracks, right? He's not gonna switch to Thor, but he's probably first of all he's thinking about Mutalisk, which kind of fucks with his mind, which is good. And also, I'm gonna switch to. He's not gonna get tanks too soon either, because obviously tanks are useless against Mutalisks and are slow. You don't want to have that. So I'm switching to Hydralisk Infestor, which is basically the best combination of units you can have against Marine Marauder, really.
And I also want to say, it is part of this motivation to go Hydralisk Infestor the fact that your creep spread is also really far down. Because, I mean, I know obviously it helps. I mean, I definitely know the creep helps, but if your creep, like, say, wasn't spread out at all, would you steer a little bit more away from the Hydra Infestor stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about. That never happens.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. Your entire life goal is there to be like, I'm going to creep here, and look, I even overlorded his base. I can build a creep tumor next to his house. I mean, seriously, I even saw you were like 80 food behind your opponent. You were dead, and you're like, come on, Sean, check this out. And you built a creep tumor in his base, and you were like, yeah, and you started giggling because he couldn't build add-ons. It's your favorite thing in the world. I still remember that.
It just makes me so happy to see the purple stuff on the map, really.
Purple is a good color.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty. I just want to paint the map.
Alright, cool. So you are doing a little bit of map painting right now. I'm at 1441. I'm going to be resuming in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So there is your good old Jazz going down. He is kind of getting a little pumped up. And I still like so much that you have not tried to go for any sort of bust yet. Because, again, it's so freaking tempting after you've done damage with Ling Baneling to just go ha-ha and to try to sprint into things. I also noticed that you're going Hydra Infestor, but you already have the +1 attack upgrade for Zerglings. Is this... Oh, no. Did you cancel it?
Yeah,
wow,
I did.
I guess you... Wow, that's drama right there, man. You really wanted them Hydralisks working. So it looks like he's pushing out at kind of an awkward time. I'm even noticing in the... Ooh, oh no, uh-oh. Pause the game, Dario. Pause the game. I accidentally went a little bit too far. Oh no. I accidentally rewound the whole thing. I'm at 1537. Are you ready to join with me?
Yeah, I am.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, playing it. I tried to hit the resource button and I hit T, which resets the replay. So it looks like your foods are actually pretty close, and he's pushing up here, so I see a lot of Hydralisks coming out. Do you have any concern at this point?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if I can hold it. Like, I mean, now I know, but the good thing is I have 2 queens with a ton of energy. Actually, 3 queens, so that's gonna help a ton.
Oh, with all the transfuses and the like?
Yeah, and Hydralisks are so efficient against Marines, especially if they are tanking behind the spine crawlers. Actually, my opponent is making a little awkward decision. I'm not sure if he should have retreated.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking pretty scary there for a minute, but I mean... and that's another thing that I think... Oh, what were you going to say?
Yeah, but you have to note that the Medivac was almost out of energy, so...
Oh, yeah,
I could probably have... Yeah, it's a lot less scary if there's no Medivac anymore.
And also, I mean, I'm kind of wondering, like, anytime you do a cancel of a tech building and go to another tech, the important thing to note is that that other tech is much slower. So, I mean, it looked like you almost lost to that big attack. So I'm wondering if you, do you think that that timing was a little bit off? Is that sort of the way it should go? Oh, and by the way, that's awesome. The Marines can't actually attack back. That's so awesome. That is so kick-ass.
Well, the thing is about Spire, it was like at 60%, and the Spire takes 100 seconds, while a Hydralisk then only takes 40 seconds.
Yeah,
So, even though I'm switching tech, Hydralisk are still coming out earlier than Mutalisk even. because they take less time to build.
That is an interesting thing to note. Nice. And it looks like you're taking your slow frickin' Hydras up here. It looks like you're remaking Queenies. Up there doing their drone vomitage. And now it looks like you did do a pretty significant amount of droning down here at this bottom expansion, which, you know, I assume is because you crushed that attack. You're also taking another expansion. So now that you're kind of comfortable against that long-term push, what is your general goal and setup at this point?
Okay, let's stop at that point.
All right, I'm at 1851.
Oh, I'm ahead. Anyways.
Well, I'm at 1851, so rewind, baby. Rewind!
Okay. Ben, you're pointing out that I'm droning a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always doing that as soon as I'm comfortable, and I'm always comfortable as ZERG if I have infestors out, and any kind of unit to actually support infestors.
Okay.
Because it's a pain in the ass to attack as Terran. I know he doesn't even have tanks, so actually attacking is basically impossible.
Yeah.
And if you have 3 infestors, you can stall a lot of time. So that's the point of ZERG where you should start saturating your bases, and after that you can start massing units again.
Awesome. And it looks like you're expanding, which I think is the exact same thing as saying, I'm really safe, so I will just go ahead and take another base, because why not? Also, you're getting your hive. Good time. Looks like you're continuing to get upgrades. There's that infamous +1 melee upgrade getting started for the second time this game. You got that spine crawler going into the middle. All right, cool. I'm at 1851. You ready to resumer?
Yeah, let's go.
3, 2, 1, play. Also want to note in the unit counting station, wow, 63 drones versus 40 SCVs from your opponent. So.
Yeah, but you have to count 3 mules, which is like 12 SCVs.
Yeah, but those are only temporary. So he's picking off a couple of Overlords. You did get the speed upgrade for Overlords. Do you do that pretty much every game?
Yeah, because you can spread creep with Overlords. And that game it's pretty bad, that game, but I think every ZERG user should never, like, no ZERG user should ever have Overlords sitting in his space like I do. You can always put them somewhere, spread creep or just scout troops, you know?
Yeah, seriously. You know, I also have to ask, okay, so I just want to pause. I have Maru selected. He uses control group 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. He has some repetition in the later ones, but I notice you have all your hatcheries as 1, Hydras is 2, and Zerglings is 3, and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it?
Dario.
I have to work on my hotkeys.
Dario, oh my goodness, you use 3 hotkeys? You know, I actually didn't know that. I actually never knew about that.
Okay, no, it got better now. I actually have a new plan how to hotkey a ZERG.
Oh, this is an old game, by the way, people at home, because this is a 1.1.2.16037 game.
Okay, things how I do it now is like I'm trying to relearn ZERG a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm still putting hatcheries on 1.
Wow.
Then I put queens on 2, and like every queen I have, not every queen. Every queen I have designated to a hatchery. I have a 2. So I can transfuse my hatcheries on the minimap.
Yeah. Oh, you mean vomit larva on the minimap?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty baller if you could do like transfuse. Like, my spine crawler's getting injured at my front. Let me transfuse via the minimap and hit the correct thing. But you vomit larva with the minimap?
Yeah, I'm starting to learn it now because it's so much better.
Do other people do that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Matt told me to do that.
That's hardcore. I was recently informed about the backspace trick. Are you familiar with this?
Oh yeah. But I think
so
minimap is better than that. And okay, then I have one more hotkey for macro, if you want to call it. I try to hotkey my newest creep tumors. And as soon as I put a new creep tumor, I re-hotkey it.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I love using hotkeys like that.
Yeah, and then the rest I want to use for my units. I'm not completely familiar with it yet, and sometimes I have to like remember myself to do it. But I think it's a pretty good system.
Yeah, I like it. But I want to point out to people that so hotkeys can only help. That is true. Hotkeys can only help. However, notice how much of a giant baller Dario is with no hotkeys. Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying don't use hotkeys. You should do it. Including you, Dario. Use those hotkeys. I'm making growly faces here at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, Daddy.
Yeah, that's right. Wait, I'm actually listed as your daughter on Facebook. Is that correct? Is that
I know.
right?
You are.
Use those hotkeys, Big Daddy. Yeah, let's go ahead and resume this game. You should have seen the eyebrow I gave to the camera. Alright, let's resume in 3, 2, 1, play. And it looks like he's knocking down his backdoor destructible rock. Now, typically I actually see Terrans expanding to the natural that's at the 3 o'clock position as their third base. But we see him taking his backdoor, and he's going to be running out with a little medevac here as he attacks. I think that's good attack timing by him. So it looks like he's advancing forward. And, ooh, you're destroying these destructible rocks here. Looks like opening up new attack paths. I'm going to ignore this medevac for now at the bottom, but have you found this really useful to open up these destructible rocks?
I think as ZERG you should destroy every single destructible rock on the map, really, except maybe the ones which actually protect your bases, but...
Yeah.
Because it's never wrong to have more ways to actually maneuver with your units as ZERG.
Yeah.
Like ever.
So this drop is going down, and it looks like you bring back your little Ultra Gigaforce of Zerglings, and you do end up repelling it. And in situations like this, where there's like a lot of drop and action going on around the map, do you ever have difficulty focusing or maintaining like a sense of what's going on everywhere?
Sometimes I get a little bit too fast. I noticed I might actually try to lower my APM a little bit again, because I tend to get bad accuracy, so I make a lot of really stupid misclicks.
That's actually an interesting thing to point out, because I do feel like sometimes, because people are always like, APM, you know, it's like, you gotta actually be good and calm and make correct decisions. So I actually think a lot of people out there should try to play really slowly and calmly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to the gym. You go to the gym because you want to look good naked, not because you actually want to, like, weigh less. Right, you know, it's not like if I went to the gym and I weighed 100 pounds for a 6'3" guy, I'm probably not looking too good. It doesn't make me better to then weigh 80 pounds, because I'll actually probably drop dead. So again, don't confuse the number of APM with the actual backlying notion that you should play well.
Yeah, it's actually really stupid. I'm always impressed with people with low APM. Much more impressed with people, like, if I see somebody with 80 APM beating somebody with 200 APM, like, I'm impressed by the guy with the low APM, not by the guy with the high APM, really.
So I'm actually going to pause right now. We're at 2320. There's something that I really like that Maru did, which is because he expands to this back, which of course will make a nose for this smiley face. We call this nosing up on this map. So he's going to nose up here at the south position, and he's pushing along the left as a result. He's not pushing along the front anymore, because that would make this quite vulnerable. So I actually do like that a lot. And I'm curious how you are sort of finagling your defense to deal with this at the 23-minute and 20-second mark.
Well, first of all, I gave up my expansion because I realized that I couldn't defend it efficiently. It's not a big deal in late game.
Yeah.
It's only 300 minerals, which is not a lot in late game. So sometimes people should just drop a base and realize it's more than more nuisance than use.
Yeah,
especially as you can see, my fourth expansion. At the, well, kinda 12 o'clock position. It has no drones yet, so why should I have the, like, bottom expansion if I don't even saturated my more safe base yet?
Yeah. I'm just briefly checking your upgrades. Looks like you're not using those evolution chambers yet, but they, they're at 2-1 upgrades for them Hydras. You have the +1 upgrade. I'm noticing you're also getting Ultralisks. I'm wondering about your concerns, or if you have any, about this +2 range attack upgrade, because I always get a little leery of when someone invests a lot of upgrades into a set of units that they're only going to use for a little bit of time. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Maybe I shouldn't have gotten the second range upgrade, but recently I started to realize that Hydralisks are actually really good in late game.
Oh yeah, I actually, after Ultralist, I start getting Hydras. I'm a good old Mutilan Baneling user, but they just do so much damage.
Yeah, and you can actually kill medivacs, which is nice.
Yeah,
because,
seriously.
Yeah,
I
I have
mean,
so many.
without Hydras, it's kind of like in Brood War when you get that Terran player who'd have like 80 science vessels and you just like couldn't kill them. And you'd come in with like 3 control groups of Zerglings and he'd individually irradiate each one because he just had that much mana. It's like maddening.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to have Hydras.
Yeah.
Especially, I think actually that Zergling, Ultralisk, Hydralisk, Infestor is the best late game combination of units. If you have Broodlords, you're in perfect shape. But like Zergling, Ultralisk, Hydralisk, Infestor seems like the strongest late game combination of standard units to me.
Now, of course, before I resume this game, I want to ask the key question: no Banelings?
I don't like Banelings too much after I've been in Korea. I've met Foxer. It wasn't too funny.
Yeah, I guess that does sort of dampen the fun a touch.
Yeah, but
Really?
Banelings, I should use more Banelings, especially if the tank count is down. But I think Banelings are kinda overused. Maybe get late.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a Raven, so it would be nice to have Barrett Banelings, definitely.
Yeah. But either way, I'm at 23:20, going to resume in 3, 2, 1, play! And we're probably not going to do too much pausing for the remainder of the game because Wednesday Night Fights is starting in 15 minutes. Once again, for any of you who did not know, there's going to be a series of show matches for $100 happening directly after this, shoutcasted by yours truly. So here's your good old push. You're running Zerglings in. Looks like you got a couple of good fungal growths down, and the Hydras kind of make their way into the fight as well. The Ultra, I feel like that fight kind of went a little out of order, with the Zerglings coming in first and the Ultras coming in at the backside.
Yeah, definitely. I lost more units than I should have at that point.
But it looks like you're still winning the war. And, you know, I think that it's pretty clear that you have a decisive victory right here, that there's really nothing he can do, especially considering you have spotting on these 2 expansions in the top right. But, I mean, is your general game plan still to just kind of wait for him to leave instead of give him a reason to leave? Because I like starvation plays right now, just sort of waiting for him to run out of options instead of actually trying to go kill him.
Yeah, especially against Terran, it's really hard to finish the game, but I mean, sometimes you just realize that you have so much more that you can just kill him because you don't want to waste more time on your practice. But, I mean, seriously, it's a concern. You can't have 40 minutes game every time.
And I see some nice fancy transfuses on these Ultras. I'm actually going to speed this game up to ×2, so we're kind of zooming through it right now. I just want to ask if you have any goal of taking another expansion. I mean, I know your 12 o'clock still doesn't have any drones at it, but I mean, if you could take a fifth, looks like you are taking that Northern Expo. Still have left those rocks up, so nifty-tastic. So yeah.
The thing is, he doesn't have a 3rd expansion, really, so I can basically just sit on my bases and put more pressure on him for a while. If I realize I can't break it, I would take more bases, but it's not necessary right now.
And it looks like he's trying to find some way to expand. I mean, this really is a good option eventually, but... Oh, and then here comes the Broodlords, just good old finishing blows. I call Broodlords a push-busting unit, or an entrenched position busting unit, because they're the things that actually let you attack. Same thing with Baneling, same thing with Ultralisk. A unit like a Hydra is a good support unit, but it's not like, great, I have 3 Hydras, time to go attack its front.
Yeah, and especially against Planetary Fortress, Broodlords almost seem like the only option. Like, if you have 10 tanks in a Planetary, you're not gonna want to attack with Ultralisk either.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take some questions from the main chat. Dario, of course, big hearts to you. Thank you for participating in Friendday Wednesday. Because you know what we are, Dario?
Sean.
You know what we are?
We are?
Friends.
Oh, but you're my daughter.
It's a good point. Well, it's a good thing to be tight in your family. Just according to Facebook. So sweet. Sweet. Oh, yeah, people asking about the backspace trick. Oh, this is awesome. So
that one you can take that one, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I explain it right, and correct me if I mess this up. As a lot of people have noticed, if you hold Shift and then execute something like build pylons, you just kind of go Shift, build pylons, and then you can kind of go bam, and you just click once per pylon. You don't have to go BE click, BE click, BE click. You can go Shift, BE click, kind of like that, right? That's the way the shift key works. So select all of the queens that are at hatches. So kind of like Dario said, let's say you have control group 2 is all your queens at hatches. You hit 2. You hold the right shift on your keyboard, then tap V once, so the cursor is now on Vomit Larva. Then while holding shift, you hit backspace. You're at one of those hatches now. Then you hit Vomit Larva. While still holding shift, hit backspace again. You're at another hatch, and you Vomit Larva. While still holding shift, hit backspace again. Vomit Larva. So the whole entire process is 2, shift, V, backspace, click, backspace, click, backspace, click. I said that right, correct?
Yeah.
I didn't mess that up. Yeah, it's a really fast way to just go bam, 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 and just vomit at all those things. So that's really good. So let's just hear a little bit of the questions that people have. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Blue Frog 365 says, "Dear Day 9 and the Little One," but I'm actually going to steer this to you because this is your show, Dario. As a former Terran player and a new ZERG player, what do you think is the best way to deal with banelings as Terran? And now, this user wrote counter, but I refuse to use those words, so, yeah, take that. What are your thoughts, Dario? While I look for more questions.
Well, I mean, the standard way to deal with it is Marine tank, actually. Basically, you have a lot of tanks, and whenever banelings rush in, you run your Marines behind your tanks. And if you have really well you could just say the counter to banelings is micro. Because even if you have Marines, which are terrible against banelings in a big crowd, if you micro them well, they can counter banelings, and, well, everything which does splash damage is pretty good against banelings, I guess. Hellions too.
Really? I don't like Hellions that much. Ever since I've tried to use them against you, and you're like building mass Zergling against mass Blue Flame Hellion and winning because of creep. Drives me nuts. But
yeah, but it doesn't work so well if Terran just waits, to be honest. Like, I had a few games where I was so happy about having like Zerglings, and I knew I could handle 8 Hellions, but then he waited until he had 25.
That works great against Zerglings. So here's a question by Darth Caesar, who says, basically asks a question about, people have said that one base Zerg play is extremely powerful, including higher level players. What are your opinions about just general one base play as Zerg?
I don't like it. I never do it. Like, almost never. At MLG I did a one base Spire, which should not have had worked, but it somehow did against Ruby, I don't know how. But usually, if I see one base by Zerg and I scout it, I'm just gonna stay on one base too, and always gonna be ahead as Terran.
Oh, that's an interesting way to put it. Huh. Yeah. I guess I also am wondering if you have any methods of one-basing Zerg that you think are effective, or if you think that there's any use to it. I mean, part of me wants to say, well, you can get an extra hatch at your expansion at the 15 food mark. Why would you not do that? But still, I don't mind opening up the door to creativity. Well, you know what? Actually, don't answer that, because we are going to end the little Dario session with this wonderful question by Dragosani, who says, "Dear Little One, you are best known for your unique, ingenious, and very creative playstyles. How do you come up with these ideas, know they are so good, and execute them so well when no one else is doing it? How do you do that, Magic Dario?"
First of all, I have to thank that guy, because he's being really nice to me. But
yeah, Starcraft community does, man.
Yeah, I know, everybody's nice to me.
Everyone's like so nice. Really nice. Yeah, it's actually kind of unusual how nice people are, because, you know, in an average day, you're gonna encounter some dick, you know, who's like a guy at a cash register who's just he's just angry about his job, so he just like takes that on you. He like drops the change and he's like, "Just pick it up yourself, man." Just closes the freaking cash door. But everyone in Starcraft community is just like so nice. Sorry, answer.
Yeah, it's amazing. I get that question a lot, but I never really know how to answer it, because it just kind of comes to me naturally. And I don't think I'm that creative. People always say it, but I don't know. The biggest problem most people have is they just do stuff over and over and over again. there's
thinking.
everybody could just say from game to game, I'm gonna do something different that time, and it's really important to do that from time to time. Just too many people get frustrated and strategy doesn't work, so they're gonna do it, but this time they're gonna do it better. Instead of doing that, sometimes people should just try something new.
Yeah, totally, because I do feel like there's that pressure when you're playing to be like, I'm going to play this strategy better. And it's like you're trying to do the strategy as opposed to using that strategy as a tool for you. I mean, like these games and all these little pieces on the screen, they're your pieces. You get to do what you want with them, man. So, yeah.
And you never have to do anything just because, like, famous players do it. That's bullshit. Just do whatever suits your style.
I mean, seriously, a lot of famous players are idiots.
Yeah, it's actually true. No,
yeah, like I do dumb stuff all the time. I'm like, Dario, what do you think about only going Dark Templar against Terran? You're like, I think you'll lose. I'm like, let's play 10 games to find out. And then 0-10 later, I'm like, Dario, I have a conclusion I'd like to present to you. Oh, man.
Yeah, that happens a lot with you.
But anyways, with that wonderful end to everything, Dario, we're all going to give you huge hearts. Dear channel, please give Dario hearts. Please give him some of these. That would be fantastic. And that means that we're going to wrap up this portion of the Day 9 Daily. We're going to be doing Wednesday night fights right after this. Oh my god, Dario, you should look at the chat. It literally looks like the Matrix just streaming up, except only hearts. No blondes, brunettes, and redheads. Just hearts.
Oh, that's too cute. I love everybody in the Starcraft community. Seriously.
I know, they're the best. So, Dario, with that, I'm going to mute you. Bye, Dario. Bye. See you, DreamHack.
Good night. See you soon.
Peace. All right, I want to once again say that Wednesday Night's Fights is happening right now. I'm probably going to take just like a 3-minute break to get some water in between. If any of you are watching this on the archives, all the Wednesday Night Fight games will be up on the archives. Bam. I will be at DreamHack coming up the next week, so there's not going to be any dailies at the usual times. There's going to be some dailies from Sweden, but they're going to be European time focused, so it's probably going to be around noon Europe time. Either way, those, of course, will be at the archives for all of you to see in case any of you do need your Day 9 Daily love. I love you guys, too. Once again, big shout out to all the female gamers in the community. I salute you and your awesomeness. And, of course, Monday Fun Day, not next week, but 2 weeks. It's going to be, please send a video of, my computer is going nuts. Oh, I didn't mute you, Dario. I muted myself. Okay, so, in case Dario said anything, you could hear it. Alright, Dario, you're now muted. Whew, that was close. He could have been like, fuck, I hate Day 9. And I would have been like, oh my god. But now he can say that all he wants, I'll never know. Anyways, Fun Day Monday, submit a replay to Monday at day9.tv of you attacking with everything every 5 minutes. At the 5-minute mark, the 10-minute mark, the 15-minute mark, etc. For Newbie Tuesday, Terran players, I would love it if you submitted a replay to Tuesday at day9.tv of you being against a Protoss player who does some very fast Nexus, some sort of 1-gate early expand build, and you try to crack it but just can't seem to. Tuesday at day9.tv. Without any further ado, see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. That was a fun daily. Always good to have Dario on. Bye, guys!